Alright guys, so in this video we're going to get set up and I'm just going to show you some very basic syntax of HTML, and I'm sure many of you have already done this and already know this, but like I said, this is a front to back course and we're going to cover everything. Alright, so first thing you need to do is you need to have some kind of text editor. Alright, now you can use Notepad for Windows or whatever your default text editor is. You can use that, but I would suggest getting something a little more advanced, and I think Sublime Text is one of the really good choices. It's free, but it's also really simple, and also does have some more advanced things if you want. It does have code highlighting and code hints, things like that. So if you want to use Sublime Text, just go to sublimetext.com, and we're going to go ahead and click download for Windows and save it. And then we'll go ahead and open that up when it's done and run it. Alright, and we're just going to go through the installer here. We're going to install in the default directory, next, install, and finish. Alright, let's go ahead and open it up. Alright, and I'm just going to snap it to this side of my window. And now we're all set to start writing HTML. So what I'm going to do is create a new file. I'm just going to create it right on my desktop. I'm going to say new text document. And we want to save this as index.html. Now we can open this with our browser. I'm using Chrome as my default, so that's why I have a Chrome icon. You may have something different. Okay, if we open it up, we're just going to see a blank white page. Alright, and then what we want to do is we also want to open it up with your text editor. In my case, it's going to be Sublime Text, which, let's see, I don't have right here, so I'm going to say choose another app, and more apps, and then Sublime Text. Alright, so now we have this page opened in our editor and in the browser. So if we were to just say hello and save with Control S, reload, you can see we get hello. Now let's say we want this to be a heading. We could wrap it in H1 tags and save it. And now when I reload, you can see that it actually renders as a heading. It doesn't actually print out the H1 tags. If we want to look at the source code in the browser, we can do a Control U, and you can see there it will show us the tags. Okay, so we're viewing the source code. All right, now if you're building a web page, you want to have your basic structure, which is your HTML tags, your head and body tags, and your doc type. All right, now with Sublime Text, there's actually a plugin we can use. If we type HTML and then click Tab, it'll actually create that stuff for us. Alright, and I'm just going to indent right here. Alright, and if you're not using Sublime Text and you don't have that ability, just go ahead and type this out. Alright, so in our title, we'll say my first web page, and if we were to save that and reload over here, you'll see that the body is blank because we don't have anything in the body. But if you look at the tab, it says my first web page. So whatever you put as the title is going to show up in your tab. And if we were to look at the source code, you can see exactly what we have here. Alright, so in the body, we'll go ahead and put some headings in. So we'll start with H1, and we'll say welcome. This is an H1. Okay, so if we save that, you can see that's an example of an H1. Now I'm going to copy this, and then we're going to just do H1 through H6 so you can see what that gives us. And this file can be used as a reference later on if you need it. Alright, so if we save that and reload, you can see this is what the default looks like, H1 through H6. You'll see H6 is very, very small. It's actually smaller than if we were to do paragraph text. Alright, so let's put a line break here and put in a paragraph. We'll say this is a paragraph and reload. And I'm actually going to put headings above each of these. So that's headings. This right here will be paragraphs. All right. And then let's put another paragraph. Okay, save that. Now you can see when we use paragraphs, it automatically has spacing in between. Okay, that's because by default paragraphs have a padding of 10 pixels. All right, and if you want to change that, you can do that within CSS, which we'll look at later. Now we also have strong tags. So if we want to, let's say we want the word paragraph to be bold, we can put strong and then the ending strong tag. And if we go and save that and reload, you can see that the word paragraph is now strong. We also have the I tag for italic. So if we go ahead and wrap the word text in an I tag, you can see that now that is italic. Alright, so next thing, links. We're going to put a line break here. Okay, and then we'll put an H1, we'll say links, and that's going to be an A tag. Now remember, links have to have this href attribute, and that's going to basically just let the browser know where this should go. So we'll just put in google.com, and then inside the A tags, we'll say link to Google. Okay, so if we save that and reload, now you can see we have a hyperlink. If I click it, it's going to take us to google.com. Now, if we don't want it to change the page and we want it to open up into another tab, we can do that easily by putting in a target attribute and setting it to underscore blank. All right, and if we save that and reload, if we click it, you can see that another tab opens and brings us to that link. Now, A tags also have a title attribute. If you want, of course it's optional. And we'll put in here Google website, and we'll save it. And now notice if I go and I hover over it, actually, yeah, right there, you can see that it pops up Google website. So whatever you put for the title will show up in that little pop-up. Alright, next thing we'll do is images. So let's say H1 images. And images, we'll use an IMG tag. And these need to have a source attribute, or SRC. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in HTTP lorempixel.com/400/200. Now, Lorem Pixel is just a website or a service that gives you images of certain dimensions. So in this case, it's going to give us a random image that's 400 pixels wide and 200 pixels tall. All right, so this is just used in development to bring in some sample pictures. All right, now notice image tags do not have a closing tag. If you were using XHTML, you'd want to put a slash right here. But since we're in HTML5, we don't need that. So let's go ahead and save that and reload. And it might take a second. And you can see that it outputs the image. If I reload again, it's going to be different because it's just random. Alright, but that's how you can put an image in your web page. Alright, so that's going to be it for this lecture. In the next video, we're going to take a look at lists and tables.